90% of people reading this haven't subscribed. Why?
Just do it!
You know what time it is? It's giveaway time. I am opening up my Discord to y'all watching this now. So in the Discord, you get activity points that increase your level. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give away $50. That's right, 50 bucks at the end of April using those levels as entry. So if you're level 54, you get 54 entries into this thing. Now I will be going through the winning submissions to see if you actually just spam stuff, and the mods will be looking to see if you're spamming. But hey, join the Discord, get active, maybe win some money. Link is below. Gacha Weekly episode 3. Let's do this. So let's start off a little bit differently this week. Let's go with Raid Shadow Legends first. Raid Shadow Legends is having a 10x chance. They're giving you a 10x chance to get all of these different characters that give you an extra turn. So if you're new to Raid Shadow Legends and you're missing that type of unit, this might be the type of banner for you, but generally you want to save all of these rolls for specific shard summoning events where they give very, very large raid up. Raid is very, very well known for having pretty low rates in general. So unless you're looking for a very specific one that you probably won't get through this event anyways, it's probably best still to hold. The main important thing about Raid Shadow Legends that's new is that they just released a clan v clan game mode. So any game that really releases a good way for clans to fight other clans is a good game in my book. That is one of the most desired PvP content types for me personally and for a lot of other gacha players. So kudos to you, Raid Shadow Legends. Maybe Polarium's actually changing their queues a little bit and they're growing significantly. In another one-off, we saw a really big introduction from Rise of Kingdoms talking about future updates. They've went ahead and announced that they're going to have a new game mode, they're going to have a new civilization, they're going to have new clan mechanics overall. With the combination of the big four, once you throw in new combat mechanics, Rise of Kingdoms is really tripling down on this title of theirs, which really makes a lot of sense because it's making such a large amount of money. We've been talking a lot about the changes that have been happening with Dragalia Lost in the past, but in all honesty, this is probably the first core update that's actually had a very large significance over the past few months. Why do I say that? Well, there's actually two really large issues that are going on with Dragalia Lost right now. One, they released the first half of their new chapter, so games that are actually continuing their storyline is generally a sign that the game is in a healthy state, so it's good for Dragalia Lost to be releasing new content in that way and not just rehashing the same things over and over and over again. It's slightly new and unique ways. They're actually adding core content to the game, which is great. They're really going out of their way to reduce the stamina cost for a lot of very core content, which allows new players to get further quicker, which I already thought was something that new players had a lot of capacity to do, but now they're offering you an additional amount of time into the game for free, which is actually kind of crazy because it's one of the highest free-to-play games that I've rated to date. And they're tripling the amount of skip tickets that you can use from 10 to 30. Overall, this is absolutely insane of an update for Dragalia Lost in terms of a core gameplay experience by slashing the stamina costs and increasing the amount of skips you can do while adding core content through chapter 19. Overall, Dragalia Lost continues to make this weekly list on a regular basis. FGO Fan Great Order has two interesting points of note this week. They're having yet another anniversary event for 1400 days. That is a long time for a game to be out there, if we're being completely honest with ourselves. And they went ahead and they started to promote their next crossover collaboration with Lord L. Meloith II's case files. I've never heard of this. If you know anything about this, if it's something I should check out, just throw in the comments. Give me the spiel for it. I've never heard of this. But those are the two most interesting things coming out of FGO this week is additional login rewards for an anniversary event and a new collaboration that's on the horizon. FGO continues to be one of the most profitable games in the industry, so it's not surprising to see other IPs looking very quickly to hop in on this bandwagon. Now, last week I brought up some of the 1.5 issues that were going into Genshin Impact, and they went ahead and they released more information related to the construction and the materials that would be used in it, and it actually looks a little bit more promising with all the different backgrounds, all the different things that you can change overall with the Genshin Impact in-game model system. Now, the best games that went ahead and applied modes like this are obviously Animal Crossing. I don't expect Genshin Impact to get to that point, and in all honesty, they really struggle from a co-op point of view. Maybe this helps. Maybe they can convince me that I want to go visit someone else's house. I really don't know how they're going to do that. Overall, I'm very confused as to how this is going to play out. RuneScape and Animal Crossing are probably the two best housing systems that I've seen implemented in games like this. So we're still on the lookout for that. The new heroes that are coming out are still kind of to me. I mean, there's a new 5-star hero that looks pretty promising, but overall, Genshin Impact is still in that kind of mode until we're really waiting for that Inzuma release and new continents to explore. That's really what this game is all about, is that exploration phase. Marvel Strike Force is releasing a new champion in Colleen Wing, and honestly, it doesn't look that interesting overall. If one of you are MSF fanatics and you have something to say specifically about it, let us know in the comments below, but there's nothing that seems to stand out about this champion. But in other news, there's a lot of interesting information that's coming out of the Summoners War Camp, especially when it came to Summoners Wars Lost and Shura. They actually did a big World 100 Invitational pre-tournament where they got 100 different content creators to put $100,000 on the table. This is the worst news ever if you're named Gacha J, because you know what? I wasn't invited. So can you guys reach out to them and tell them that they're missing out on me? I mean, come on. I'm trying to make a gacha game to compete with them. Pay me, man. And in similar vein, they went ahead and announced that they are also doing a very large tournament in the future for Summoners War. I really love to see these tournaments be played out in gacha games. Summoners War has tried to make itself a very high-end PvP over the years and have these esports type moments. I really am rooting for them to make it happen. I haven't really seen anything that really crosses that line for me yet, but I'm really cheering for them overall. And in a really odd collaboration, 7 Deadly Sins is crossing over with Stranger Things. We get an 11, Will, Mike, and Hooper in the game. I don't know how to feel about this, honestly. An American TV show jumping into an anime game, being the first time anime characters and giving them skills and moves that they wouldn't have in... Like, how is Mike ever gonna fight anyone in these games? Like, let's be honest, what does Mike do? It's just a kid. He doesn't have any superpowers. He kind of just runs around and complains that 11's not giving him enough attention. Let's be honest with ourselves. How is that all powerful?
Come on.
Now, if you guys have been living under a rock, Honkai Impact has quite a crazy week. And honestly, I'm not the one to do this announcement the most justice. From my understanding, what essentially happened was that the global version got a very exclusive reward from the Honkai Impact because it was their anniversary, and the Chinese servers kind of lost their mind over it, and now there's even death threats to MiHoYo executives over the fact that the global server got anniversary rewards that were not available to the Chinese server, and then all of a sudden the Chinese server had a problem with the bunny outfit put onto a character. I'm very confused by all of this. It really seems very, very petty to me, and honestly, this is really bad news for Honkai Impact overall. Even if the whole death threat thing isn't real, the fact that they had to cave to the Chinese server in the way that they did is pretty sad overall. And then last but not least, in our existing game updates is Guardian Tales. Guardian Tales released Divine Beast Mayro, which to me is a really hype release. I actually really enjoy playing with the Mayro that I did roll. I ended up spending about 40,000 crystals, and I ended up getting her. I'm working on her to get to 5 stars now. Overall, I thought that was a really well done character. They now have a new mecha waifu that's on the horizon, but I'm on the verge of protesting Guardian Tales. Not because it's a bad game or anything, but I need more husbandos, man. I'm tired of these. Now on to upcoming games. A lot of these may not actually classify as gacha games in themselves, but I think that they're games that you as a fan are going to be relatively interested in, so I'm going to throw it into this video regardless. And a really good example of what I mean by that is Tears of Themis, which is my pet name for Tears of Themis. Themis, you know, same thing. One actually makes sense, the other doesn't. This is actually made by MiHoYo, the same people that made Genshin Impact and Honkai Impact 3rd, and it's actually a romance detective adventure type of game. I'm pretty interested in seeing this. It's been out in Taiwan and China since August 2020, and now it's officially making its release here in the States and the globals. So overall, that's pretty interesting news if you're looking for something new to check out. Nairoko is eyeing for an early summer 2021. A closed beta test is also available from today on April 20th. This game is produced by actress Toshoba Honda, who starred in live actress film Oil Hyrule Ride and Full Metal Alchemist Teshobia also works on characters, game design, and service policy. The game will be available to play at a limited time period for 6 months after game launch. That to me is very, very interesting for a 2v6 survival game to only be available for 6 months. What does that even mean? I have to be understanding what this release means pretty poorly. But I definitely, just because of that sentence alone, how it's being set up, how it's being funded, I'm interested in checking this game out. Based off what I see on screen, maybe you can make a decision for yourself how you feel towards that. Kingdom Dash is officially launched as of March 20th. Kingdom Dash features the SD characters of the TV anime Kingdom. It is an instinct type game that anyone can play easily without using tactics and strategies. The Iki Tusen, a match for 1,000 game system, aims to provide exhilarating experience to gamers. If you decide you want to play now, you can get essentially a 10x on the gacha and a 3-star character in the login bonus campaign, and an additional 1,500 rainbow crystals is giving away to all players to celebrate if they actually make it through those milestones. So if this is the game that looks interesting to you, be sure to go ahead and check it out. Yugen Generation has also been available since April 21st. The LPG is now available for download. The game also reveals the opening movie featuring the theme song Your Only Generation, performed by the 3 heroines in the game. It's been developed by Colpils? Is that how you would say that? Star Studio. Yugen Generation is a smartphone game under the new LPG live playing game genre. It combines the elements of live and game and aims to provide a new dimension of entertainment using the most advanced VR and AR technology. The game utilizes the terrain altitude function of Google Maps and has developed an open world that draws reference from the actual terrains of Japan. The player goes on an adventure to defeat strong enemies and collect allies in order to save the worlds, with the heroines Astria. Also, players can participate in the live streamed event held by Astria every day and enjoy zero distance interaction with them. The Astria exists in the 3rd dimensional world where players can play games with them, enjoy conversations through comments, and listen to songs. Players can also use the augmented reality function during the live performance, bringing the characters out of the real space and enjoy the performance in any position from 360 degrees. If you decide you want to go ahead and play, they'll give you 500,000 to all players and a total of 300 Astra Gems as reward. The Astria will also perform a backflip and cartwheels for you live. So, woo! Promised Neverland, the Escape from Hunting Garden, has also now arrived as of April 22nd. This game actually went by with a lot of false hype, I would say. I didn't really see anything about this leading up to it, so maybe it's not that interesting of a game. It's an escape game where you try to cooperate with 3 players to escape from a signature location from the Promised Neverland series, such as Gracefield House, the Goldie Pond. In real time, players will have to find the exit within 3 minutes while collecting items and weapons to avoid the demon's attack. The game celebrates its pre-registration after reaching 63,194. All players can obtain 3,000 diamonds as a reward. Now, let's get on to the largest new addition to this list, which is My Hero Academia: The Strongest Hero. My Academia: The Strongest Hero is developed by the Chinese developer Kiyomi Game and was released in China and Japan in December 2020. It will be available soon in North America, Latin America, the United Kingdom, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, and Scandinavia. It looks like a really promising game with intense action. I am really excited about this one. It is easily on my short list, and it may be a game that I cover here on the channel. If you have any additional news that you want to throw here on this video, be sure to reach out to me at GachaWeekly at protonmail.com. This is Gacha Weekly episode 3. Take care, guys.